From the bone-crushing ground slams to the savage parry and counter mechanics, Marvel Spider-Man 2 was the laboratory where Insomniac experimented with raw aggression before handing the claws to Logan. Today, we're breaking down the gameplay mechanics and animations that prove this game was the ultimate stepping stone toward Marvel's Wolverine. Let's start with the most obvious mechanic, the Rage Meter. Back in the 2018 game, Peter had the focus bar. It was clean, defensive, and used mostly to heal up or pull off a single stylish acrobatic finisher. Though, to be fair, the first game had that awesome suit power system. Remember activating the Iron Spider power to unleash those 4 golden mechanical arms for a few seconds of pure chaos? It was so much fun. It was a shame to see those unique suit powers go, but look at what Insomniac replaced them with. In Spider-Man 2, Insomniac took that temporary power concept and completely evolved it into the Symbiote Surge gauge in the top right corner. Watch what happens to the game design the moment you hit L3 and R3. The colors desaturate, the background audio muffles while Peter's heavy breathing gets amplified, and every single hit stops being an acrobatic tap and turns into an overwhelming blunt force strike that pins enemies to walls instantly. Now, look at what Insomniac is doing with Wolverine. In the official trailer footage, when Logan unleashes his berserker rage, the entire screen flashes into this hyper-saturated, bloody red haze. That visual style is a direct tribute to the iconic Marvel comic series Wolverine Black, White, and Blood, where the entire world fades away, and the only thing highlighted is pure crimson violence. And where did Insomniac first test this sensory shift? Right inside Spider-Man 2 with the Symbiote Surge. The heavy screen distortion, the altered audio frequency, and the violent speed burst in Peter's black suit were the perfect dry run for this exact legendary berserker vision we're finally getting with Logan.
Gotta be honest, not a fan of Big Pharma.
Now let's examine defense, because this is where the design philosophy shifted dramatically. In the first game, and Miles Morales, survival was all about dodging. If an attack was coming, you flipped away. So why did Insomniac suddenly add a dedicated parry button on L1 in Spider-Man 2? Think about it. Spider-Man dodges, but Wolverine stands his ground and takes the hit. When you use the mechanical spider arms to parry an incoming heavy attack in Spider-Man 2, look at the animation. Peter plants his boots, deflects the weapon with pure mechanical resistance, creates massive metal sparks, and counters with an instant forward thrust. The guard break mechanic and the instant counterstrike is precisely how an adamantium claw parry system needs to feel. Insomniac used the spider arms to test their melee deflection physics in a live combat environment, so they wouldn't have to build Logan's close quarters defense from scratch. Now let's talk about the special abilities, because even before Peter gets the symbiote suit, his mechanical spider arms fight exactly like Wolverine's claws. Look at the inputs in Spider-Man 2. Hit L1 plus square for the spider barrage. Look at that animation! Peter doesn't shoot webs or do a backflip. He plants his stance and unleashes a hyper-fast, multi-hit forward stabbing frenzy with all 4 mechanical limbs. That rapid thrust animation is literally the definition of Wolverine's multi-claw flurry from classic Marvel games and comics. Then look at L1 plus triangle, the spider rush. Peter rockets forward horizontally, impales a group of targets with the front blades, and drives them across the entire room before slamming them into a wall. Replace those mechanical limbs with 2 adamantium claws, and you have Logan's iconic leaping slash attack. Even L1 plus X, where Peter launches enemies straight into the air using raw mechanical leverage, shows how Insomniac shifted from light aerial acrobatics to heavy bladed kinetic force. And once you add the symbiote powers, like the massive forward-charging symbiote strike and the ground-crushing symbiote yank, the picture becomes crystal clear. Insomniac didn't just give Peter high-tech arms. They mapped out the entire button layout, hitboxes, and targeting algorithms for a melee-focused, claw-based fighter right under our thumbs. And finally, take a look at the camera work during finishers. The camera pulls back into a wide cinematic view to capture his acrobatic form. But the moment you trigger a symbiote or heavy spider arm finisher, the camera pushes in tight, tracking the brutal downward force of his strikes and the impact on the environment. Insomniac designed Spider-Man 2 to bridge the gap between clean superhero combat and raw, close-up kinetic impact. Every time Peter slams an enemy down with full body weight instead of a light kick, you are looking at the foundational animation tech for Logan. Once you take off the age rating restrictions and add piercing adamantium damage, the engine is already 100% prepared. With Marvel Wolverine, Insomniac is cranking that raw physics engine to an entirely different level of environmental brutality.
This is Sparta!
Just look at how the environment dynamically reacts to every single brawl in the footage. When Logan fights near a concrete barrier, he doesn't just do a standard punch. He grabs the guy by the neck and smashes his skull directly into the stone, leaving visible cracks in the masonry. When he tackles an enemy across the room, the kinetic momentum literally shatters window glass and splinters wooden walls on impact. And did you catch that insane forklift takedown? Logan lands a brutal front kick, launching the enemy straight onto the metal forklift blades. That is pure, unapologetic, M-rated environmental physics at work. Even the tag team finishers show this clear evolution. In Spider-Man 2, we love seeing Peter and Miles team up for those smooth, synchronized web takedowns during open-world crimes. Now in Wolverine, we see Logan combining forces with Jean Grey for lethal dual finishers, proving that Insomniac took their co-op combat logic and rebuilt it to showcase mutant synergy at maximum power. Before we wrap this up, there is one final massive mechanical evolution we need to talk about: the healing system. In Spider-Man 2, managing your health is tied directly to those focus bars in the top corner. You spend a bar, get an instant chunk of health back, and keep swinging. With Wolverine, Insomniac is taking that same UI concept and turning it into Logan's most badass, lore-accurate ability, the active healing factor. As long as you keep fighting aggressively, parrying and landing hits, you build up your resource bars. But here is the craziest part shown in the footage. If you take fatal damage and get knocked down, as long as you have at least one full bar stored, Logan doesn't just die, he resurrects right in the middle of the fight. You literally see his exposed adamantium skeleton as the flesh violently knits back together in real time, giving him an instant revenge boost to tear apart the enemy who just dropped him. This completely changes the combat loop. It rewards you for being relentless, staying in the enemy's face, and embracing the damage knowing your mutant biology will pull you straight back from the grave. Insomniac played the long game. They gave us an incredible dual hero experience in Spider-Man 2, while secretly refining the parries, the rage triggers, the multi-blade, and the physics attacks needed to make Wolverine feel exceptional right out of the box. Now I want to hear what you think. If you're hyped for Logan, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and keep those claws sharp. I'll see you guys in the next video.